Welcome, baby. The NPC presents Smooth Finish with our hosts Rob Romano, Chris Marcano, and Brent Lane. These guys have more chemistry than your entire test kit. Ever enlightening and striving to be entertaining. So let's dive into their latest episode of the NPC's Smooth Finish.
Hey everybody, welcome to Smooth Finish. It's a Friday afternoon in June. That's crazy for me to say that out loud. But here we are. We got the Smooth Finish cast. Robbie Romano and Chris Marcano. How you doing, fellas?
I think you left somebody out.
No. I was coming up with our frequent flyer who we all love. Miss Laura Eaton's here with us again today.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
I have a feeling she's going to be the fourth cast member of Smooth Finish.
Yeah. Apparently, she drew the short straw yet again for this recording, and here she is with us.
Which I don't think anyone would object to that.
Well, thanks guys. I love being with you on here. This is awesome.
Sweet. Well, what are we here for today, boys? Well, what we're here for, and gal, is to talk about the NPC Pro app, which is very new. We launched it at our conference, and was it late February, March? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Again, it's June. Where am I at?
I know.
3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Feels like it.
But it's out there. It's free to the industry. It's definitely, we're geared this thing to, our members for a lot of it, but there is a lot of useful stuff that we're going to go through and talk about. And yeah, we just want to kind of talk to you guys about that today, share a little bit about the app. Hopefully you get encouraged to go ahead and download it and start utilizing it. And we'll even share with what the next steps are.
Yep.
So who wants to kick us off?
Well, I'll start. I missed the last broadcast, so I feel like I have to make up for lost time here. So here we are. I got to say, it was, this has been a long time in the making. But the coolest thing about this app is that, you touched on this, Brent, it's free. And not only is it, there's no commitment to this, like there's no charge. We're not trying to sell anything. There's a lot of good apps out there within the industry, but a lot of them have other purposes, and it's by design, right? They're going to help you out as a professional in the industry, out in the field as a tool, but hey, here's some spin because it's selling a product or a service, or it's a pay for app in the first place. And this is an official app of the National Plasters Council, designed specifically for pool surface professionals by professionals, right? And that's the whole goal of it. So it's really, really, we're proud of this. We're going to continue to improve it as well. It's fantastic right now. And check it out. I'm going to say this a lot today. Just if you don't have the app, go to the App Store, put in National Plasters. It will pop up. Boom. You will find the app, free download it, use it. We'll break it down here and tell some kind of put a little spotlight or a magnifying glass on some of the real cool features, advantages, and benefits of this app, and kind of the ethos and philosophy that we used and applied to the design of this app. But, you got to try it. And that's kind of a professional in the industry telling all of you listening right now, if you don't have it, get it. Go to National Plasters Council on any app format store, download it for free, and give it a try. The first thing you're going to see is a beautiful, easy to navigate app. And that was goal number one. We don't care how robust, how rich an app is in resources and how practical it is and how useful it is. If it's hard to navigate, don't even make it, right? In this day and age, it has to be intuitive. It has to be easy. And we really challenged each other. We thought we were in a good spot with this app. And last minute, we decided from some internal challenges to make it even better. And it was the best decision I think we made, because it is what was good enough was fine, and it would have been a fine tool. But now we really have the premier app in the industry. So, I'm really proud of it. I want everybody to try this. And I think it's just probably the premier app, if not the premier app, when it comes to actual value to the pool professionals, specifically surface professionals.
Yeah, Chris, it's funny to read or to go on that a little bit. Yeah, I think we were at each other a little when we were putting this thing. And everybody on this podcast, by the way, was very involved and integral in the app. And also our producer, who's, not talking on the show, but Jimmy, who works for the organization that manages the National Plaster Council has been instrumental in, the design of the app, the background, the communications with the writers, and we definitely want to give him a thanks. But yes, we were ready to launch something, and I think a few of us just felt like, you know what, we can do a little better here. And I specifically remember, like we were saying, Chris, that like it was important just the intuitiveness of the app. Like we kind of slowed down. Like we want people to be able to know where to go. It was opening to a calculator. It wasn't really, one, it wasn't pretty, and two, it was almost one dimensional. And I think with the little bit of a pause, we've created just an amazing tool that I think people are really going to appreciate out there.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, we challenged ourselves last minute to do even better. And it's easy too. When you're eyeballs deep in a project like rebuilding or building an app from scratch, right? I mean, and unless you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's the reality of it when it comes to apps these days, unless you're paying somebody, an actual firm, to do everything soup to nuts for you, and it literally, you're looking at $250,000 and up, right? And that's really what we were looking at. And we, last minute, to your point, challenged ourselves because, when you're really, really engaged and involved and all the way in deep in a project like this, it's easy to kind of lose the trees in the forest, right? And you get close to that finish line, we're like, okay, it's good enough to go, let's go. And, we did make that change, and it's so much better now. I mein, it really is. It would have been a fine tool, but it is really the premier app, like I said before. So,
a lot of passion, especially from Brent and Laura. I had a lot of fun being part of the team, putting this together. Jimmy had some stressful nights. I know that because all that passion was led up to what we were able to create here. And I tell you, this is an app that I use almost every day, and I recommend to my builders and my homeowners to use as well, because it has everything right at your fingertips. It's not just a calculator. And that's kind of what we want to stress, is that this app isn't an LSI calculator. It's a startup process. It's all our tech building. It's manuals, our library. We have ask the experts. You can even post flex your finish if you got products or things on here. There's a lot of great features that it's just not just one stop shop. With what we put together, and that was the goal, is to put the NPC in our information in your hand, and bitchin' technology right now. You can hold all that with you.
Yeah, and let's talk about just a real quick overview of those core features, right? I mean, we've got basically an engine what we serve up a bunch of readily accessible, searchable NPC technical resources, white papers, essays, all kinds of guidance that's official. It's not a sales agenda. This is anointed as legitimate information out there, made by professionals that has been vetted and approved by the NPC. You don't get anything more accurate than that type of information out there. We also have the startup form that walks you right through, and different incantations too. I mean, if you want to follow the traditional startup, it's there. There's all kinds of startup guidance right at your fingertips too. That's so easy to navigate, right? Documentation, submission, tracking of it, all available for free. Like, again, let's just pause on that. For free, right? This is all available for you for free. We're proud to sponsor this. It's got an LSI, but much more advanced. We've got calculations for LSI for basic water chemistry, advanced water chemistry. We're actually expanding the parameters in the version 2.0 that we'll talk about kind of at the end here. But we're improving this platform even more, but we're adding more robust tools to it. So we're tweaking and really dialing in and expanding some parameters when it comes to our LSI and water chemistry calculations. We're also going to
include borates in that LSI calculation too.
Those are fine products. So, but we also have photographic submission, job logs. You can have your crews, your companies, your own work submitted, so you have a record of it that it stores for you. Troubleshooting guides, all of the events and training schedules that the NPC is out there providing and other partners, other strategic industry partners. We're cross-pollinating and sharing things on there all the time. And then it has a member portal integration as well. So NPC members, this isn't just for the NPC members, but it's for the industry. But NPC members, we do have an area on there that's accessible through the app where you can manage your membership and all things that are associated with that. So it's truly a one-stop shop for any pool professional, right? You don't have to be a plasterer, but it is specifically designed for the unique needs of that niche within the industry, right? But this is for anybody. I don't care if you're a one poler right now, just rolling around, knocking out, 60 pools a week. You can benefit so much from this, and it can really make your business be a lot more impactful because of all the shareable and documentation features that this has for job logs and things like that. So it really will save time. It's really going to be a valuable resource or tool when you add it to your repertoire.
So also when those guys are driving around, right, from job to job, and they have nothing good listening to on the radio, they can go onto their app and access all of these Smooth Finish podcasts, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That was actually in my why it's better note.
Oh, sorry.
That's my favorite part of the app. There is click on podcast. There's a podcast button on here, and it brings you right to the Spotify or is it Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and you can choose any episode at your fingertips.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, I think I wanted to reiterate something Robbie said. He mentioned that he's sharing with his homeowners, and that kind of tells you enough about the app that you can introduce it to a homeowner and they can get usefulness out of it, right? If they're going to do their own startup, or if they just want to check their water, can we run their water chemistry through that tool to find out what's next? They can do that. So that's powerful,
And the old proverb, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? Well, we know the reality in this day and age, a picture is worth 11,000 words, right? And that's the other thing too, where you can document the condition of a surface, of a pool, of the deck, of anything you need to. You can document that through this app, plug in data, water chemistry, calculated, verified by the built-in calculator, and create site notes that can go for your database, but it can also go out to that particular customer in an official format. Like, it's such a powerful tool again. And it just really is designed around the real life needs of these business operators that are out there, doing what they can and trying to offer the best service when it comes to their interface with their customers.
Think about this. So you go to a pool, you see, you run the water conditions, you see that it's prime for spot etching, right? So you document that, you're able to save that and send it. In the same app, you're able to go to a white paper and a tech bulletin on spot etching. And oh, by the way, a YouTube video or a podcast that talks about it. And they get it all bundled up right and nice. It's not something that's coming out of your mind or something you're making up. It's amazing. So these are
there's a lot of apps out.
It's just a simple app in your hand, right? It's a computer, and we just gave the industry, and specifically the pool plaster industry, a very powerful tool. So really, there's no risk. It's all reward. Try it, download it, get it going. You're going to be pleased with this.
Easy to use too, right? Like, you don't have to be a water chemistry genius to use this. Like, you literally plug in the numbers and it tells you what you need to do. It tells you what you need to add. And it doesn't get any easier than that. And then you export it and you can keep track of it. A lot of these interior finish warranties are held with the disclaimer that you have record that your water chemistry has been maintained, right? And a lot of these homeowners don't know that, nor do they have any idea of how to get record of that. So this is one massive tool that can be beneficial in so many different ways. And I think that it's real important that everybody knows about it.
Oh, for sure. And to that point, I'll expand one more. Robbie can, I'm sure, jump in here, and Brent, you can harken back to the former days. But let's talk for a little bit about startup, right? There's a process to this, and the process takes time, and it has to be done right. And it's really easy for people to skip steps, and that's just human nature. But what this tool does, what this app does, is it creates a easy to submit and create documentation that is complete from start to finish of the startup process. You can submit it, you can track it, you can share it, right? So there's never going to be a he said, she said when it comes to this, because you can document everything. And that protects you as the applicator, it protects you as the service company, as the remodeler, as the builder, you name it. But it's just built into this that you can utilize that and share all this data and let the homeowner know this is what needs to be done. I can do it, someone else can do it, but it has to be done and it needs to be documented, right? And if you don't, I'm sorry, we can't be held, responsible for this because you're neglecting this crucial step of the process.
It's interesting, Chris. That's definitely so. One of the biggest things people know in National Plasterers Council for is startup. The startup classes we've been doing for years, the certifications. The industry's bought into it, and it's been successful. And I think I'm super excited about the phase 2 opportunity that's coming, where the startup is going to be so intuitive, where you go into a client, somebody starting up a pool, whoever it is, and you put in, you're going day one, and then you're going to put in all your information, and it's going to spit out the calculation and tell you what to do. And then the next day, when you go to that pool to do day 2, it's going to fresh platform, and it's going to record every day, and it's going to advance. If you're not ready by day 3, it's going to advance to day 4. And when you're all done, it's going to package all of this data that you've plugged in. It's going to push out to you a deliverable for your homeowner, for yourself, for whoever. That's going to give all of that data, how you went from your alkalinities change and your pH throughout the days till you got balanced, and then it's going to recommend what you should be doing next. That's super great. I mean, I don't know. We pushed really hard on getting this thing done because I think that's something that I don't know how you get that anywhere else other than on paper and you're recording or whatever. Now you're just plugging it into your phone and it's doing it for you. And you're able to say to the homeowner, Look at what I did. Here it is. I've delivered you this crystal clean pool that's ready for you to get into. And oh, by the way, here's how you treat it for the rest of its life. And here's a tool where you can make sure you're balanced once a week, every other day, whatever you want. I'm super excited, and I really hope people, not buy in. I think there's no buy-in to happen here. I really hope they take this free piece of, this data that we're providing, all this information tool, I guess I'll say, and utilize it because I don't think there's much else out there like this. So
there isn't. Yeah, and this is custom built for professionals by professionals. I can't stress that enough, right?
What are we, about 6 weeks out from phase 2 of our app?
Yeah.
Yep.
So and I don't even know the real finite details, but I do know that we're about 4 to 6 weeks out. And we're adding some awesome features, a calculation that can do pool volume, which is great. Like the surface area of the inside of the pool, deck surface areas, things like that. So it's going to be a much more expanded feature set when it comes to figuring out square footage. And that's I can tell you right now, I know how important that is, but I learned that from Laura about how finite and how accurate you have to be successful in this game when it comes to estimating square footage, right? Like that's really the kind of common language, I think, anymore. It's not so much jobs as it's how much square footage are you working on right now. And so that was really the inspiration to offer a more robust feature there where we can basically just plug in and document. That's the most important thing. If you're bidding, if you're working on whatever it is, you have documentation with a very accurate calculation system to figure out the internal volume of a pool as well as the external of the whole area.
Yeah, I think the other thing is that
they're also expanding. We're also going to be expanding the reporting as well. So it's going to be even more detailed in what we're able to capture and share. So good stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, if you know the NPC, we're so driven by education and trying to get, education by Congress. It's not just one person saying one thing. We're so driven by a group of people agreeing to a standard and ideals of what should be happening. And Those, like I said, the tech bulletins, the next education opportunities, all that stuff's available. But another great feature, and I mean, these days to say that this is a great feature moving forward, but phase 2 also allows any user to turn the app into Spanish immediately. The whole app will be in Spanish for them, useful in their language, what works for them. Obviously, our industry has a lot of Spanish-speaking folks, and I think, again, we're not going to be able to sell that right now. I don't speak that much Spanish, but it's important to know and share with your crews or share with people in the industry that that this app's going to work for them all the same. They basically change, I don't know if it's a flag or a selection, and they have this great tool at their fingertips as well.
No, that's a great call out too. I mean, the Spanish feature on this is going to be huge, right? How valuable is that? An instant translation feature.
All right, there's a comfortable silence. It sounds like.
Well, I don't know what else to say except you got to get out and you got to use it, right? Download this app, use it, put it to use. It's no cost. It is going to be a fantastic feature, and it's just one more arrow back in your quiver that you can use to be the best pool professional that you can possibly be.
Well, and honestly, everyone that's used it's not just us because we're promoting it, and yes, we contributed to building it and all that. The customers that are using it, I can tell you on my personal experience, they love it. They love how it works. They love having all of those features at their fingertips. So it can't hammer home enough how important and how much it's going to help you in your business.
Absolutely. And Chris, you shared this a lot in the beginning, but if you go to your app store, you're going to put National Plasters Council. It's going to pop this out. You can look it up as NPC Pro. That's the actual.
Yep.
Hopefully, you're not going to the bodybuilding. You're going to our app. But go seek it out. Get it for free today. If you're listening to this thing, pause it. Go get it. Right? Maybe you're listening to it on the app. Hope so. That means you've already gotten it. But we definitely want you guys to take advantage of this free opportunity. And, as always, if you need anything from the NPC or you need any other resources that I don't know, the app might be the only way. A lot easier. NationalPlastersCouncil.com. Obviously, NPC Pro. Go on there. Get everything you need. And I thank everybody for being here. I think we've reached a smooth finish. And hope everybody enjoys their week. And thank you all for being here. And please, please, please take advantage.
Yes, go download.
And don't forget, Flex Your Finish. We've been seeing a lot of great stuff online. Flex Your Finish.
Absolutely, we have. I had an actual call today from someone from a very large, one of the two biggest distributors out there, called today and was asking just about the traction of the Flex Your Finish. So if you guys haven't caught on, check it out. It's an opportunity for a spotlight, a large spotlight within the industry to be thrown to feature your best work, whether it's a job, whether it's a process, whether it's a shout out to one of your teammates or, team members of your business, somebody behind the scenes, some marketing effort that you put out there that's working, just whatever really shines and that you'd like to throw a spotlight on within your business. Look it up, #Flex Your Finish. We do a monthly award. We are getting some great submissions from people, and we want to keep it going because this is an awesome, awesome contest where you get some really cool prizes. And we might, next podcast, be revealing one of the most badass trophies that we might start handing out with this ever made. So stay tuned to that one.
All right.
Well said, Chris. I guess what we should really say here is you're hearing all these things that the NPC is doing. Come join us. Come be a part of this great thing that we're doing. And let's all have a smooth finish. You all have a great weekend.
Cake.
Be good. Thank you, guys.
Have a good one, guys.